For more than 100 years, people of the world have twisted Nabisco's delicious Oreo cookies, trying to split the cream perfectly between the two wafers. And for more than 100 years, we have failed. The cream all ends up on just one of the wafers, or this happens. It's not your fault. Scientists at MIT recently discovered that this game has been rigged against us the whole time. It's impossible. But what if I told you there is a secret solution, a cheat code, to let you win this game with every single Oreo?
It's perfect.
Our journey begins with
Crystal Owens.
She's the MIT scientist who...
Our goal was to figure out how to open Oreos perfectly, and the answer is there is no perfect way.
What if I told you that I have discovered a secret way to twist these Oreos so that you do get an even amount of cream on both wafers?
I want to see that.
Want to see it? All right. Okay, so here's how you do it. First, you put the Oreo in a microwave for 7 seconds. No more, no less. Then, you take it out of the microwave and discover this doesn't work at all. Okay, no problem. So heat doesn't work. How about our old friend cold? Yeah, just put it in the freezer overnight and then go ahead and take it out, and you have successfully made it much worse. It's as hard as ice now. I think we need to make it more brittle so it snaps. So maybe we should try making it even colder, like with liquid nitrogen. Nah. Moving on. Okay, what's that? Nope, no, we're not doing that. Put it away. Now here's a real idea. How about we put them in a vacuum chamber? This is an airtight enclosure that you suck all the air out of. Scientists use these to ruin marshmallows, but if we can try to use it to dry the moisture out of the cream, maybe we can make the cream brittle enough so it splits evenly. Let's give it a try. Weird. The cream came right off as like its own cookie. That was fun, but Crystal's still waiting to see an invention. So I better come up with something before I run out of B-roll from that Zoom call. What happened next definitely falls under the banner of, it seemed like a good idea at the time. If you watch my videos, you know that my favorite machine is this water jet cutter. I used it to make my jetpack and the jumping shoes. And yeah, I thought, wouldn't it be cool if we could make a super teeny tiny water jet cutter to evenly split the Oreos? For a nozzle, I can use these tiny little syringe needles, and then to attach it to a high pressure airline, I start by drilling a hole into a brass end cap. And then I can do this super cool shop trick I've always wanted to try called a shrink fit. The idea with the shrink fit is you heat up the hole so it expands a bit due to thermal expansion, and you cool the thing that's gonna go into the hole, I'm using liquid nitrogen here, so that it shrinks a little bit, and then you quickly jam those two things together. And when they get back to room temperature, they are permanently stuck together. Next, I put some water in the airline and connected it to a high pressure gas. I'm using argon at over 2000 PSI. And finally, we are ready to test our miniature water jet cutter. Ready? Open. Yeah, no. It's cutting, but the cut quality is terrible. It's basically destroying the Oreo.
But even if it worked, it would be cheating. If I only wanted to cut it, I would use a knife. What I want is a way to prepare the Oreo so it looks normal, but when you twist it, the cream splits perfectly. What's the answer?
At this point, I was out of ideas, and I decided to let the project go. The problem is, this project wasn't ready to let me go. Everywhere I went, I kept seeing Oreo-themed props that I had put on my friends moments before filming them. I even filmed myself doing this. And then I remembered something Crystal said.
The cream is a funny material definition. It's called a yield stress fluid. So it's something that is solid when there's no stress applied, but when you apply a stress above a certain level, then it will start to flow.
So the cream is a fluid. That gives me an idea.
Check this out. If I use a knife to score the cream and then twist it, it still doesn't work because the physics really haven't changed, right? But if I use a knife to score the cream and then put it into the freezer, that yield stress fluid will freeze into a solid. And that groove we scored might cause an effect called crack propagation. If you've ever seen a crack in a windshield grow and grow, you've seen crack propagation. The idea is that the root of the crack sees the most stress, and when that stress exceeds the yield strength of the material, that crack can grow. And now the new location of the root sees the most stress, and the crack can grow again, and again, until it completely cuts through your material. If we can use crack propagation to split the Oreo cream, then maybe we don't have to disappoint Crystal. Let's give it a try. Yeah, we're back in business. There's gonna be a video after all. This is the discovery that sandwich cookies have been waiting for over 100 years. All that's left to do now is to make an unnecessarily complex machine to prepare the Oreos. This is gonna be like a tiny plastic lathe with a rubber band 3-jaw chuck to hold the Oreos. To score the cream, we wanna use something that's totally clean and food safe, so I went with these sterilized scalpel blades, which apparently come in holographic packaging? Do they want kids to eat these? So we just put this thing over here and then that thing over there, and now I can present to you, for the first time in world history, the cream cutter. By the way, you can win this. Click the raffle link below if you would like to own this life-changing invention. Now we just put the Oreos in here, center it up, turn the crank while slowly pushing in the scalpel blade, and then put an entire package of these in the freezer overnight to show Crystal.
Maybe one on the second column and the third one down.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you ready?
I don't know how you're doing that.
The clue came from your research paper. When I read that it was a fluid, I was like, what if I scored the cream and then put it in the freezer?
So how deeply did you score it?
I scored it maybe half the way through, and I'll show you the machine I invented to score it.
Cream cutter. You spelled it right.
Yeah, yeah, they're legally not allowed to call it cream, right? Because there's no dairy in it.
involved.
And what does she have to say about our major scientific discovery?
I feel like that's cheating.
Oh, it's definitely cheating.
Although
Yeah,
it is kind of like a little bit of a stroke of genius.
Oh, stop. If you'd like to see more inventions, why not subscribe and check out one of my other videos. Now let's see what YouTube is recommending for you. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, that's a good one for sure. Oh yeah, these are both bangers. You cannot go wrong. Which one are you gonna? Which one are you gonna? You're just gonna. Are you gonna? That one? Or are you gonna click that one?